I was like, please God, I don't want to get carpal tunnel. Hi guys, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. Thanks for joining me. So I'm here, I just want to sit down, super chill. I want to give you guys a semester recap video. So if you guys are new to my channel, just a quick foreword. I am in acute care nurse practitioner school. I have been in school for over a year. So this is just a semester recap from my spring semester. I wanted to sit down and just recap my classes, what it was like for me being a full-time student. If you guys have been following my journey for a while, then you guys will know that for the most part, I was a part-time student up until the beginning of this year. With the spring semester, I added an extra class, so therefore I became a full-time student. So I'm just here to talk to you guys about the semester, the classes, my grades, just the whole recap basically of the semester, what classes I'm taking now for the summer, and then what things are looking like as well for the fall. So if you guys are interested, then please keep watching. All right guys, so like I said, I am a nurse practitioner student. I am focusing on the acute care spectrum, and I've talked a little bit more about this in a previous video, so make sure you guys check that video out after this one if you guys have not seen it already. I talk a little bit more in depth about why I decided on the acute care track versus the FNP family track. So with that being said, the spring semester officially ended a few days ago, and I transitioned right into summer. So just to touch on that really quick, I am taking classes this summer. I'm taking 2 classes. They are 8-week courses, so when one class is finished, I will go straight into the next class. Literally no break. Like, I am enjoying my summer to an extent, but I also want to crank these classes out so that way I can hit the ground running and only focus on clinicals when I get to that point and not have to worry about all of these frivolous classes. So I do want to throw that out there. I'm about to jet off to like freaking paradise and still have to take my laptop with me because of my summer classes. So with that being said, for spring I was a full-time student, so I ended up taking 7 credits throughout the spring semester. So anytime you hit 6 credits or more, you are a full-time student. So juggling work and school definitely was a challenge, and I've talked about how to manage and how to have work-life balance. So make sure you guys check that video out as well. I'll link it in the card section. So for the spring semester, I took 1 class that was the full spring semester, like the class lasted for the full semester, and that class was healthcare collaboration and conflict. So for that class, we just basically had to dive into what it was like, what it's like for healthcare providers when you come into conflicts with patients or their families, and when you have to get the ethics committee involved, and conflicts can lead to lawsuits and things like that. So we looked at things like licensing claims, lawsuits, credentialing, and then we also looked at how to manage like legal and ethical issues. So that was of course an online class. So we had a combination of discussion post where you have to make your initial post with references from the readings as well as outside sources. They had to be, you know, a certain length, and then you had to make sure that you responded to 1 or 2 classmates, and you had to constantly be engaged, so constantly checking back to see if someone replied to you. So just that constant, steady online participation. So we also had things called case analysis, where we were given certain ethical cases and we had to analyze that and see, you know, what things would we do different, how would we involve an ethics committee, and then we also had a paper. And if you guys follow me on Instagram, I talked to you guys a little bit about a paper that I was writing that was like 15 pages, and that was the minimum requirement. That was without the cover and the bibliography. So all of that was combined for that class. It was a lot of work, but thankfully it's completely over. And I did pass that class. I made a B+. Like, y'all, the paper, I made an A on the paper, thank God, but she was so rough on these discussions, like really scrutinizing, like if they weren't at the specific word count, or if she didn't feel like you put enough into it or asked enough questions of your classmates and things like that. So thank God it was over, because your girl was over here hunched over at the computer constantly writing. I was like, please God, I don't want to get carpal tunnel basically. So that class, like I said, was a full spring class, and then I had an 8-week class. So the 8-week class was healthcare policy and law. So the names of these classes are absolutely absurd. So healthcare policy and law, once again, another requirement. I'm in a DNP program, so a lot of these courses are just extra things that we have to cross off the curriculum. So another policy analysis course looking at healthcare, looking at laws. This class was actually okay. Once again, more discussions. We had a situation where we had to find a law that dealt with healthcare that had not been passed through the Senate, and we had to talk about why we were opposing that law or why we were for that law, so to speak. So I found the law that I believed that I supported. I talked about it. I, validated my point. So then later in the semester, we took that same assignment and we had to write a letter to a Senate official asking them if they would consider sending that law or that bill through Congress, basically. So yeah, that class actually wasn't that bad. I made a actually complete 100 in that class. So I made an A in that class. So glad it was over with. And so because that class was 8 weeks, when that class was over, in conjunction with the full class that I had, I went into another class to end the other 8-week portion of the semester. So the last 8-week class that I picked up was practical ethics in healthcare. So if you guys are listening and noticing a trend, we're dealing with a lot of ethical issues here. And I don't know if this is just a DNP requirement. If you guys are watching and you're in like a master's program, let me know in the comment section if you guys are dealing with a lot of ethics-based courses. But I do know the DNP curriculum is heavily based on research, ethics. So this class as well was 8 weeks. Once again, more discussion posts. The most annoying thing is the amount of time I spend at the computer for some of these classes that are like 2 and 3 credit classes. Now, granted, you can take out like statistics and patho and anatomy and all that kind of stuff. It's like the frivolous classes that I spend so much time writing discussion posts, finding references, responding to people. It's like, you're taking up so much of my time and I don't want to get carpal tunnel. And where's this going to get me in the long run when I'm taking care of patients, basically? So I'm taking care of a patient in an ICU as a acute care nurse practitioner. I'm not going to reference back to a healthcare policy and law class. You see what I'm saying? Okay, so anyways, that was just a little rant. I digress. So anyways, this class we dealt with more of ethical issues once again. We also dealt with how to analyze ethical issues, how to think through issues that might arise as an advanced provider in multiple healthcare settings. We also did more policy analysis and case management and case studies, and then some group work within the class. So I also made a B+ in that class as well, and I'm just thankful that it's over. So yes, that was just like a recap of my classes. I passed all of my classes. That is literally the most important thing to me. I have not made a C in any of my classes thus far, and I really don't plan to. I've made nothing but A's and B's, which I'm perfectly fine with. So yeah, I just want to sit down and talk to you guys about my spring semester, give you guys an update on how school is going. Like I said, I am in summer classes as well. I did not want to stop and take any sort of a break. So I have one 8-week class, and then when that's over, I'm going to hop into another 8-week class that I'm already registered for. So then when that's over, I'll continue on into the fall, which will be more classes as well. So I will keep you guys updated with the flow of things and the classes, and then when I will actually start my clinical rotation and things like that. And with the DNP, it's more of the fundamental courses that we have to get out of the way first before we actually start the core courses that lead into like clinicals. And like I said, I was a part-time student at first, so I was moving at a slower pace until I picked up and became a full-time student. So yeah, I just want to sit down and give you guys a semester recap. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you guys want more videos like this, and then check out those 2 videos that I referenced earlier as well. And once again, I hope you guys have a good day, a good week, and a good life, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye guys!